Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're back. If you're new, please subscribe, okay, and help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my first goal. But of course, I didn't start this channel because I want to get more subscribers. I started this channel because I really want to make a difference. I think the things that I've learned over the years, my wisdom, my knowledge gained, my experiences, I think a lot of people can benefit from them, okay? And so if you're starting something, if you're starting a project, or if you're starting something, right, something new, something that you're passionate about, basically, I think you're going to have a very hard time burning out, okay? And because you like doing it so much, you're not going to care about, ultimately, about the the money, even the money that comes with it. Of course it's going to be a big plus, right? The subscribers, the likes, the the attention, the money, the monetary gains, right? Yes, that's very beautiful, right? But once again, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, you're not really going to care too much about all of that, okay? It really will come from your heart, and anything that comes from the heart, it comes from inside of you, right? You get, I suppose, emotional fulfillment from that, okay? And that's extremely important, I think. Once again, it also will it will give you that staying power, right? So I think a lot of times when people start projects, right, and all that they're thinking about is maybe money, maybe that's how they started their projects, right? Or maybe that's why they started their projects, is because of the money, right, that could be gained. I think that's a really, really wrong way of starting things. I think that's actually ultimately you're going to have a very hard time staying and dedicating yourself to that type of a thing, if it's just about the money. So I think it is very important to start with your heart, start with your passion, and then everything else will kind of take care of itself, because you're going to basically be able to be consistent, you're going to be dedicated, and nothing will kind of like bring you down or even stop you, even if you're going through like hard times or something very challenging in your life, once again, because you're gaining emotional energy from doing this. Yeah. And so anyway, so guys, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're doing really well today. I wanted to make a video about haters, okay, and how people with big dreams, people with big goals, people with unconventional goals, they're always going to be hated on, okay? And they're going to have a lot of naysayers, right? Like Taylor Swift, right? The haters are gonna hate, right? And it is true, right? They will hate, right? And I'll just shake it off, right? I'll shake it off. That's what you have to do. You have to shake it off, basically, right? And the reason being is because, first of all, why do people hate, right, in the first place? Why do they get jealous of other people? Why do they try to bring others down by saying negative things about their dreams and goals, right? Why do they feel the need to say that someone can't do something when they don't even know what the other person is capable of doing, right? Well, the reason being is because a lot of people don't believe in themselves. They're not confident, right? A lot of us have grown up in very difficult households where their own parents didn't believe in themselves, right? And so they projected all of their insecurities onto their kids, right? And so their kids acquired they acquired those negative qualities, right? And in turn, they kind of made it their own, right? They adapted them, right? And that was a big mistake, basically. But when you're a kid, you don't know any better. You don't have the mental capacity, right, as to not to do that, right? And so, like a sponge, you soaked all of that negativity that was coming from your parents in, right? And you never cleared it out of your life as an adult, right? And so it stayed with you, right? Maybe now you think you're dumb, right? Or maybe now you think you're not good, you're not capable, right? Maybe, and so you don't really believe in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't have the confidence to go after your dreams, to go after your goals, right? You're living in fear. You think that you will fail, right? And there's no point in trying anything new. But it's not true, guys. It's really not true, right? So yeah, this is where hate comes from for other people, towards other people, right? Is because when you're looking at others who are doing it, you become jealous. You become jealous. You think that, you know, what they're doing is impossible for you personally, right? And it's not true. It is not true, right? All you have to do is you have to work towards that confidence, right? You have to start believing in yourself, even if it has to start with like little things such as affirmations, right? Like daily affirmations. Like, for example, you know, I still work on daily affirmations, right? Like, I still use them every single day. And so I tell myself, you know, I'm capable, you know, I manifest easily, right? And it has to be like positive affirmations, right? They have to be positive. They have to be, you can't just say something like that, I'm not stupid, right? Because your brain kind of receives this as you are stupid, right? So you have to phrase these affirmations in a way that your subconsciousness understands it, basically, right? I tell myself, you know, I'm abundant. God is always with me. God always has my back, right? And I'm extremely powerful, right? I'm powerful beyond belief, right? So whatever this affirmation is, you can start with those and telling yourself this every single day, right? So this will automatically kind of boost your confidence, okay? And of course, you know, going outside and trying new things, you know, so the things that you really are afraid of, right? So not being afraid to fail, basically, right? And I've started so many different projects where those projects ultimately failed, right? But it's okay, right? Like really, when you start any given project, you're actually never going to fail because you're always going to you're always going to win, okay? And that win is not necessarily going to be financial, right? It's not going to be a financial win, but it is going to be an emotional win, okay? It's going to be a win whereas first of all, your confidence will get boosted, right? You're going to feel so much better about yourself, right? You're going to feel more capable. You're going to feel less fearful, right? Like, okay, I did this already, right? This is awesome. So I can do other things, you know? And so, yeah, basically, I'm not going to go into this too much here, right? But what I'm saying is that in order not to hate on others, you have to start believing in yourself. You have to look at others, right? And instead of hating on them, right? Don't be a hater. You know, become the person that you're looking at, because it's a reflection to you of what you yourself are capable of doing, right? So instead of hating, like, get motivated by that person, you know, and this will kind of, like, this other person who is doing what you maybe want to do, right? This person is only showing you what you're capable of doing yourself, okay? And that's it, right? And so use that person as your motivation, like, okay, this person is also human, right? And I'm human, and so I can do this too. This is awesome. This is really great, you know? So yeah, so once again, right, what they're unintentionally doing, right, the haters, okay, is they're serving as a catalyst, okay? Because reverse psychology, didn't they know anything about reverse psychology, okay? In reverse psychology, we tend to want to do the opposite of what we're being told to do, right? Especially in a not so great way, right? So it's like, okay, you can't do this, right? You're incapable, you're this and you're that, right? Reverse psychology makes it, you know, basically we want to prove ourselves to that person, right? Or to ourselves, really, ultimately, right? So we're like, wait a minute, he or she is saying that I can't do that. Well, that's not true. I will show them, you know? You've seen this in movies, like every single movie has this, right? Where like someone is being told this thing and you know, someone is being hated on, right? Maybe in high school, right? And then they go on and become this like completely different person that like just like blows everyone out of the water, right? All of their naysayers, right? So this is exactly what happens, right? So use the haters. If you do have a lot of haters, right? Just use them as your motivation. Use them as the catalyst, because haters are needed, guys, okay? They're needed because they're going to give you the motivation. They're going to be the catalyst for you to change and to become the best version of yourself, okay? So some examples from my past, right? They can give you some examples. Like, for example, right? When I first came to Florida, right? Like, I went from being a very skinny kid, right? To basically gaining some weight, right? And that was around when I was like a teenager, right? A little bit like a preteen, I would say, right? In middle school still. And the reason being, why did I gain weight, right? Not too much weight. I wasn't like extremely obese or anything. I was just chunky, chubby maybe, right? So I gained a little bit more weight than I should have had, right? But the reason being is because my mom wasn't really too educated when it came to nutrition, right? And so that's actually why I became very interested in nutrition and fitness and so on, right? I actually started doing sports because I wanted to lose weight, okay? And, you know, my mom basically started making fun of me, right? And she wasn't... So because of all the put downs, you know, that came from my mom, basically, I started working out, right? I joined the team. I joined the track team, basically, right? In middle school. Anyway, so the whole point was to basically to lose a little bit of weight, right? And to, yeah, to just do a sport, you know, to participate in something, right? That maybe possibly I enjoyed, right? Anyway, so the reason why I gained weight in middle school, right, was because, first of all, probably because of hormones, right? But also because, you know, we weren't really educated in terms of nutrition, right? So my mom didn't educate us about what to eat, what not to eat, right? And so we had a lot of junk food in the house. She would just buy a whole bunch of junk food for us, and we would just eat it and eat it, right? And you have to remember, back in the day, right, in Latvia, food was pretty much, everything was organic, right? Everything was really delicious. There was quality food just everywhere, right? We pretty much didn't eat any junk food. And whichever junk food we did eat, it was really quality, right? It was really well made, you know, like all kinds of cakes and things like that, right? That were well made. They didn't have any really chemicals in them, right? And so in America, food was really, really different, right? And so, yeah, we did gain some weight, right? Well, I did. I mean, my brother too, but I gained a lot of weight, right? I remember. And so also, you know, in my school, right? There was a guy, and he was kind of like my friend, my new friend, right? And anyway, so one time I remember telling him like, hey, I'm going to be a model one day, you know? And he just like looked at me and he was just laughing, right? And that made me feel so bad, you know? That just made me feel really, really bad about myself. But I didn't really let it get to me, you know? I was like, okay, because do you know why, guys? Because usually, right, we know what we know, okay? We usually know a lot, right? We actually, in fact, all the knowledge that there is, it's all inside of us. We already know what's going to happen. The only thing is we have to kind of remember those things, okay? We have to remember it. We have to come to that kind of like awakening, right? We have to... so yeah, and so anyway, so I didn't really let it get to me too much, right? But of course he did hurt me a little bit, right? And anyways, years later, right, the same guy, he was still on my Facebook, right? And I had a different Facebook account at that time, right? And he got to watch me post all those pictures of me being in magazines, right? Me walking for different shows, different runway shows. You know, Gucci, New York Fashion Week, BB, Nike, all the shows, all these different like high-end shows basically. And so it was kind of funny, right? Like, don't be a dream hater, you know? If you yourself are a naysayer, just be conscious of what you're telling other people when they tell you about their goals and dreams, you know? Don't be that person that is negative and that brings someone down. Another time was when my mom said, when I told my mom that I was going to become an author and I was going to write a book, right? And she just laughed in my face. She's like, you, like, write a book, ha ha ha, like, you know. And I just remember this like really mean laugh, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, like, this is my mom, she should be supportive, you know. But she's just like, she's laughing in my face, right? And I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. But I was already older, right? And I was like, okay, this is, you know, now I understand what kind of mom I have, right? And so I was thinking, well, okay, I don't need her permission. I don't need her approval. I'm just going to do it and I'll show it to her. And that's exactly what I did, you know. So of course it's the hardest thing when that naysayer is your mom or your dad, right? Or your brother, right? And so of course that sucks, you know, and it's unfortunate, and I'm sorry if you guys had to go through this, right? But once again, you know, just use that fuel, that anger, right? That anger can also be a really good motivator, right? By the way, to do you know, the things that you want to do, right? So instead of like getting angry at them and throwing all that bad energy back at them, right? You can actually just go on and strive and just put all of that bad energy towards your goals, right? Towards reaching your goals. Guys, I had so much anger when I was in high school while living with my mom, right? I was just such an angry person in so many ways. I mean, I was also a good person, right? But angry, like I was angry all the time. I wasn't even aware of it, right? And that's because of the living situation at home, right? But I was pretty much an overachiever because of that, right? I just placed all of that anger into like being the best student, into being the best athlete, right? And into just like achieving basically, right? And so this is what I did. I placed all of that anger into something that was good, something that like benefited me, right? Instead of like destroying me, basically, okay? So there's also that choice too, okay? And so the best, you know, the best revenge to naysayers, right, is the best F you, right, is you living the best life, okay? That's the best revenge, okay? And so after I wrote the book, you know, I was like, hey, mom, want to read my book? Smile, smile, you know? And I've done this like many times, you know. She would say that I couldn't do something or I would never do it, and I just like years later I was like, hey mom, you know, you're a grandma, for example. Like she said that I would never ever have kids, right? And when I actually did have kids, you know, and I actually gave birth to one, right? I was like, hey mom, you know. After years of not speaking to her, I called her and I was like, hey mom, congratulations, you're a grandma. You know. And in a way that was like my way of saying like F you. You know, of course, like and so, you know, the shock, the reaction was just like priceless, you know. It really was, you know. And it wasn't me doing anything bad, right, necessarily, like anything harmful. I was just living my best life. I was, you know, I was just kind of, yeah, I was happy. I was striving to be my the best version of myself, right? And so yeah, so this is exactly what you have to do too, right? And also it's much better, guys, to keep your dreams and goals private, okay? So if you have any dreams, any goals, just do them, okay? Just do them. Don't talk about them. Don't talk about them, especially to the wrong people, right? Don't tell them anything. Just smile and just, you know, talk about other things, but don't talk about your dreams and goals, you know? Do those when you're able to, right? Work on those in silence, okay? And then when you're finished, then you can tell them about them, you know, then you can tell people about them, okay? I learned this too, okay? Because once again, if you do tell the wrong person, they might just discourage you, right? They might kind of distract you. They might, you know, they might tell you that you can't do it, right? But once again, you have the option of using you know, them as a catalyst to do an even better job, right? Or to definitely do it. Or you can get demotivated, right? Maybe you'll just like forget about that thing and you will lose hope, right? You'll lose belief in yourself, basically, okay? So be careful who you tell your goals to, okay? Once again, also, it's extremely important to be consistent whenever you have those goals, okay? Once again, I look out for consistency in everything, right? Like when it comes to relationships too, right? If someone is inconsistent with you, you're going to know that they're not serious about you, okay? So if they're constantly playing hot and cold with you, you know that they're not serious. You know that there's something that's holding them back, right? You know that they're not 100% invested. You know there might be a possible emotional unavailability, right? So a person who is serious about you, or a person that's serious about a project, they're going to be consistent, okay? Guys, without consistency, we're never going to accomplish anything. You cannot get the best body of your life. You cannot accomplish your goals and dreams without being consistent and without doing the thing every single day, basically, like almost every single day, okay? It's just impossible, you know. You have to be dedicated and you have to think long term when it comes to your goals and dreams, okay? There are no quick solutions, nothing that's really worthwhile, nothing that is most things take time. Most good things take a lot of time to accomplish, basically, okay? So always remember this. And to accomplish them, you need consistency, okay? Same with relationships, right? If you want to send the message that you are reliable, that you are serious, you have to be consistent with someone, okay? Anyway, so yeah, one other thing that one of my students just recently told me, right? That's back to dreams, right? She said she wanted to be an actress, right? And she did say, she was like, you know, I had this guy, right? And he told me, like, he was family too, right? And he's like, oh, you want to be an actress? And he just laughed. He's like, you're so shy. Like, how can you be an actress, right? And she's a young kid. She's a teenager, right? She's like a preteen, right? Basically, she's not going to be the same person, right? She's going to get older. She's going to gain experience. She's going to gain skills, right, that are needed for acting. She's going to get better at something. So, guys, whenever we start something, most of us are like mediocre, right? We're not good at it. Where some of us, okay, there are a few exceptions, right? When people started something out and they were like exceptional at something, right? They have this natural gift, right? I guess. But guys, like for example, I was I was number 5. I was the 5th runner, best runner in the entire state of Florida, right? Do you think I was naturally like the best? I was naturally really, really fast runner? No way. No, I wasn't. I started out really average, actually, you know. Yes, it showed, like, you could see that I was potentially talented, right? But because I could maybe run a little bit better than the average person, right? But still, I had to work my ass off. I really did. I had the genes, the running genes, right? But I still had to be consistent. I had to practice every single day. I had to show up. I had to really, I had to be extremely dedicated, you know. And I also had to find people that pushed me forward, you know. So yeah, if you want to become very good at something, you have to find someone who is even better at this something than you are, so you can, you know, so they can kind of motivate you and push you forward, okay? But anyways, back to that story, right, of her saying that, you know, her uncle, I think, told her that she's too shy, right? She's young, she's very young still, so she can develop that. She can become more confident. She can become more outgoing, right? And she will by practicing, right? She will by doing, right? And so yeah, if you think that you can't do something because you're missing something right now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be true tomorrow or in a week or in a year, right? Most things take time to develop, guys, okay? They really do, you know. In order to get good at something, you have to develop that skill, right? Any skill needs to be developed, unless you're like a genius and you were like born with this gift, right? And that's an exception, right? It's not the rule. And so yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Okay, if you have any goals, if you have any dreams, please, please, please don't listen to any naysayers. Just go after your dreams, because you can do anything that you want. You can do anything that you set your mind into, okay? You're extremely powerful, okay? And you can do anything. Don't let your parents, don't let the past dictate who you might become in the future, okay? Don't let your past hold you back. I don't care what your background is. I don't care where you're from. You can do whatever you want to do in this life, okay? Guys, we are so powerful, okay? As light beings, we're extremely powerful. And so yeah, just always go after your dreams and don't let the naysayers stop you, okay? Let them propel you forward. Let them be the catalysts, okay? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, okay? I would really appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to check out my book, okay? It will help you. It will be your guide to towards healing, okay, if you do need that. And also I have some videos out, right? They're fitness videos, fitness and nutrition videos, where I talk about nutrition, I talk about fitness, and I help you get into the best shape of your life, okay? So feel free to check that out too, guys, if you want to support my channel, okay? Much love to you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.